Of course, I want to appreciate the work that you are doing. I have been following very closely, not only in health system strengthening, but I have seen the support that you have been supporting other sectors in terms of agriculture, politics, and also youth involvement. You have been putting us at the center of everything. That is very, very great, and we are very, very inspired by your leadership.
Yes. I have a strong belief that young people are more than the future of the country. You are the present of the country as well as the future of the country. In that you bring to Tanzania, and not just Tanzania, but to the whole world, the hope that we all need to be able to look at people and see positiveness, hard work, and energy. And what the U.S. has done to address health issues and education issues in Tanzania is because we believe that when you respond to the needs of people, you build the nation at the same time. So the PEPFAR program, for example, there are millions of people who are alive today and healthy, as you are healthy, engaged in the life of Tanzania. We have managed to help Tanzania increase the life expectancy by 15 years. People are living 15 years longer on average than they were living before some of the healthcare programs. That means 15 additional years of productivity, of engagement, time to help shape a nation and shape the world at the same time. So the real heroes of Tanzania are the two of you.
Yes.
And the people that you inspire. And as ambassador of the U.S. to Tanzania, I have the honor of meeting people like you. And I will remember you always because of the inspiration you have and bring to this nation.
We both participated in the U.S. Flagship HIV/AIDS program, PEPFAR, and through different ways like Dreams and Youth Engage initiatives. Ambassador Bato, what's your opinion, or what do you say that has inspired you to work with young people in Tanzania?
The most inspiring part has been watching the energy that young people have. The energy to think positively and to use their experiences as a foundation for helping others. Exactly what you are doing. You use your experience and you're teaching, you're training, you're assisting, you're building other people. That is the most inspirational thing that anybody can expect from anybody anywhere in the world. So, as I said before, I say again, I am proud of what you do because I'm proud of who you are. I'm proud of the fact that you work through difficulties and you show light and hope and inspiration to other people. And so you inspire me, and I thank you for that.
Thank you very much.
Last year during the PEPFAR Congress, I saw how powerful youth voices can be in shaping the future of health programming. Ambassador Bado, you were there.
Yes.
What stood out to you during the event, and how do you think can PEPFAR continue to support youth engagement in Tanzania?
What stood out in that event was the young people were simply dynamic. When you listen to the young men and women who stood up and made speeches, they were passionate about what they were saying. And they were at the same time very professional in their presentations. They knew theoretically what the issues were. They knew emotionally what the issues were, and they addressed them openly and honestly. So being in that room, it was just like being at a sporting event in the sense that you could feel energy all over the room.
Yes.
So it was fun for me watching young people get up and make speeches and to motivate each other. That's a lot of fun for me. It reminded me of when I was younger. I think I've said before, my first international public policy speech was made when I was in high school. And my second or third year, so I was either 15 or 16 years old. And I made a public policy speech internationally. And sitting in that room in Zanzibar, I saw a whole bunch of people who were just like I was. And so I was saying, man, this is fantastic. So that was my big takeaway.
Okay, thank you.
And what can we do as youth to make sure that our voices and ideas continue to be heard beyond the Youth Congress?
Don't lose your energy, number one. A lot of times what happens with people, they start off in youth engagement, really excited and motivated. Then you reach an age where you're concerned about buying a house, raising a family, and a job, and then you start losing some of that energy. Don't lose the energy, because when you get 40 and 50 and 60 and 70 and on, there are going to be a whole lot of people who are your age now who are going to be looking for role models. People who can say, when I was your age, I did this or that. And to see you still being energized. So keep reading, keep studying, keep working, stay active, stay engaged, and participate in the political life of your country. Not on the sidelines, but as an active participant in the political life, voting, being engaged in community activities, talking with young kids at school and talking with young adults, young professionals. You just finished your master's degree. You're working in public health. There are a whole lot of public health people who are doing public health simply as a job. You have to teach people to do it as a passion. When you work with dreams, you don't do it because you're assigned to do it. You do it because you want to do it. So don't lose your fire. Don't lose your fire.
Thank you. Okay. Ambassador Barrow, PEPFAR has been emphasizing on sustainability in its programs. Mm-hmm. And recently, the government of Tanzania has launched Sustainability Roadmap Part 1. How do you see this shift impacting health programs in Tanzania and youth engagement in particular?
Yeah, the other day I was in a conversation with Jessie Green, who is the director of our PEPFAR program here. And she was telling me how the government of Tanzania is proactively talking about sustainability. And I said to her that the fact that the government is talking about sustainability on its own means that the government of Tanzania sees the need to create a way that we could maintain a focus on HIV beyond the time that PEPFAR will probably start closing down. You know, by 2030, Tanzania should be at 95. Yes. Much of the rest of the world will also be at 95. So when 2030 comes around, HIV/AIDS will no longer be a global health threat. It doesn't mean that HIV/AIDS will no longer exist. It will exist. It just won't be a global health threat. So what sustainability allows is for Tanzania to begin to develop on its own projects and programs using civil society, healthcare professionals, public health professionals, and young motivators to continue to address the issues of HIV/AIDS so that nobody is born with HIV. But that sustainability is only going to take place if you stay active. So the responsibility of sustainability is on your shoulders as much as it is on the shoulders of the government. And I applaud Tanzania for taking major steps leading towards sustainability. It's going to require a lot. The U.S. government, for example, spends almost $400 million a year on PEPFAR. That means Tanzania is going to have to find a way to generate that kind of money to continue to address HIV/AIDS. The fact that it's not a threat by 2030 does not mean it's gone away. It will still be around. It just won't be the focus of global attention.
You talked about addressing HIV/AIDS, and nowadays we use different ways to educate people through different platforms like social medias, but still we are fighting a stigma. What the message you have to the people to end stigma and to believe that we both can work together and end it, HIV/AIDS, in 2030?
The question of stigma is something that is imposed on other people. We have to help people understand that they can take the internal courage not to be stigmatized, no matter what society thinks. We have to help people see their value, their internal, intrinsic, genuine value. And what the two of you are doing is you're helping people see their value. And when you see your value, you don't allow people to stigmatize you in a way that it takes away your dreams, and it takes away your hope, and it takes away your inspiration. You are the suppliers of the inspiration. You are the keepers of the dream. You are the people who lift up the hope. So what we have to do with programs like PEPFAR, with sustainability efforts, and with the efforts that you're doing, is to let people know that being stigmatized is somebody outside of who we are trying to define us and limit us. And we have to be courageous enough to say, I don't have a limit unless I impose it on myself. And I refuse to impose a limit on myself. That's the message that you bring. And nobody else can bring that message more powerfully than the two of you.
Currently, young people aging 15 to 24 are highly affected by HIV than other age groups. And we believe that nothing for youth without youth participation. In your perspective, how do PEPFAR and US Embassy can empower young people to take leadership roles in HIV, in health programming, so that they can be at the center of making a decision for their health?
Young people at the center of making decisions for their health comes when young people know that they have a right to speak up and to speak out, and that they're supported by other young people. You remember earlier when I said, don't lose your fire?
Yes.
It's up to you to keep young people from 15 to 35 inspired. It's up to you to let them know that their voice has to be heard. So, we talk about people being in the trenches, there who are fighting the fight in the thick of the battle. That's where you are. You're in the trenches. You're fighting the fight in the thick of the battle. So you are the ones who have to inspire the young people to keep on moving. But the way they take control of making decisions is as they grow. When you get 18, 19, you're able to vote.
Yes.
It's by encouraging young people to vote, encouraging young people to be active in their community, in the city, in the town, in the region that they're involved in, to be active, to get to know the political leaders, and to attend the meetings when decisions are being made. When people in the political leadership are discussing the future of healthcare in Tanzania, to be present, to raise your hand, and to say, I have something to say, and I would like for you to listen to what I have to say. And then to say it with confidence, unafraid. That's how you are at the table making the decision. Now, you in particular, you have a master's degree in public health. If you are not at the table, the country is not going to go in the right direction. Use your degree and use your education. Use your personal experience and your ability to inspire other people, to keep people at the table when decisions are made. Reach out to people at the embassy, and every now and then tell us what you think we ought to be doing with the funding that we provide for Tanzania. We need to hear from you. As we're trying to shape and direct funding, we need to hear from you how best to do that. That's why the PEPFAR office is always bringing in young voices, because we want to know from you what we can do best.
You talked about us to be on the table. We have seen that there's different leadership programs. What are you like? How are we going to benefit from those leadership programs?
Some of the leadership programs that we sponsor at the embassy,
Yes.
like the Young African Leaders Program and the full. Well, what you do is you reach out to people like Kalisha and people like Jean Clark in our public diplomacy office, and you find out what the requirements are to be selected for some of those programs. And if and when you are selected for those programs, to be fully engaged. One of the biggest benefits is that there's a whole alumni network, like what you're doing now, where we bring people together who benefited from different programs that our government sponsors. And they come together and they talk about the progress, what they've learned, lessons learned, and then they help us understand how best to unfold programs here at the embassy. Be the ambassador for the programs that we sponsor. Talk about how PEPFAR has allowed you to do the work that you're doing. Talk about it among your peers and among other people. And also talk about it when you're meeting with the political leaders in your region and in your town.
Okay.
Talk about it at your churches or your mosque or wherever you go. Talk about those programs.
Thank you very much. Thank you very
Thank
much
you.
for your time.
My pleasure. It's an honor to be able to
Thank you very
meet
much.
with you.
I'm
Thank you.
very, very
Thank you.
inspired.
I'm inspired by you.
Yes.
Thank you.
This is a very, very great opportunity to meet you.
Thank
I
you.
have been dreaming to meet you. I am very inspired with your work. I'm just envisioning one day to be the version of yourself, to be like you.
Now, your aspiration is to be much better. And my prayer for you is that God will do for you far more than He has ever done for me.
Amen.
Thank you.
That's my prayer for you.
Amen.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.